A standout case for me in my consumer law practice that really illustrates the unfairness that people face in a consumer transaction had to do with a woman who owned her home and was the victim of a home improvement scam by an ex-felon who, not many days out of a work release program, essentially posed as a home improvement contractor, but he considered himself one, at least for purposes of interfacing with mortgage brokers. And the mortgage brokers bought him, and they in turn placed loans with big four banks in this country. And one in particular was her bank. One of the big four banks was her bank, and they chose to take her case to trial. And what made it particularly egregious was that she suffered from various medical conditions, which were obvious from her deposition, including she had several craniotomies. She had a intestinal condition too, which made life very difficult for her. And they knew that, but they chose to make her, since I had several of these home improvement scam cases for each of these big four banks, I think they chose her as the test case, thinking, well, she'll never make it to trial, or things will somehow work out in our favor. The case did go to trial. We ended up resolving it, but it really illustrated to me how callous the capitalist system is for poor people who all of a sudden have an entree into it, but don't really have the skills to navigate it and protect themselves. And for example, there, home improvement services were not available to people in that community. So when a contractor like the one I'm speaking of, I use that word loosely, came into the picture, they were sitting ducks, and especially they were minority females living alone. They were even more vulnerable targets for people like that and institutions like that.